It is like full Fern Gully. It really is. Wild as anything here, it's lovely.
The River Stour boasts an impressive 46 miles in length, bordering the county of Suffolk to the north and Essex to the south, and is located in East Anglia, England. It therefore seems fitting that this trip was organised by, and of course will be featuring, a great friend and bushcrafter Craig and fellow military veteran Jake. When people talk of wild camping, it's often vast expanses of wilderness that comes to mind, but often overlooked is the vast network of mainly untouched wilderness that our rivers have to offer.
So we've just arrived in Sudbury, the home of Thomas Gainsborough. I'm not sure who he is, but he was the man on the sign. Really excited for this trip. Gonna meet up with East Anglia Bushcraft and Jake's Journey. First time I'm meeting him, and yeah, very, very excited.
Starting and firstly meeting at Sudbury to drop off our boats, the aim over the next 48 hours is to reach the sea, a 26 to 30 mile journey back to the vehicles that we then drove, dropped at the end point and returned to the start point in Craig's car. Having prepped our kit throughout the day before, it was time to hit the river and start the adventures. The adrenaline was pumping, the vibes were high, and we were so excited to be together.
I'm ready to go. I've opted for the 3 expedition units backpacks. That's got all my kit in it. I have one other dry bag here for my camera equipment. Jake's just going to grab his stuff now. He's also rocking the Canoe, 16 footer. Craigie's in the Rogue River.
14 footer.
Yeah boy. Good and wide though, isn't it?
Nice and wide. Pretty much impossible to roll this.
That's what you want.
Yes lad, I've been buzzing for this for ages man, we're finally here.
Yeah, thank you for organising it, man.
Anything for you my dude, anything for you.
And I'll get a close-up of the man. I'm sure you've seen him, but Jake's Journey, he's coming in. We're at the first portage now, so Craig is leading the way in front of me there. You can hear the water going down it. There's a proper portage point here as well, so that makes it very handy. Lovely to be here out on the water. You can see Jake just behind me there. It's overcast, but it's warm.
Little did we know that this portage would be the first of many, but with a well-versed and practiced routine, we got quickly across this one, which thankfully was only quite short, but still a bit of an effort considering that we hadn't opted for wheels this trip, so we were relying on pure manpower and sometimes even carrying to get our canoes across. Despite having only been on the river for a short amount of time, a pub was only around the corner, and a welcome drink and snack would definitely not go amiss.
Doesn't look like anyone's paddled this in a while, only you know.
No, not at all. Literally unbroken, completely unbroken. Lovely spot of river.
Beautiful, mate. A little bit of duckweed on the top here. Looks pretty unpestered.
Went through the smallest weir in the history of weirs. It was a foot rise. We didn't portage around it, we just braved it, and we're about to paddle now for the next few hours to try and find a campsite. Really looking forward to it. It's been an excellent day so far with these lads, and looking forward to the evening ahead.
Oh, cheers for the nudge.
I'll give you a little nudge, lad. Try and help push you through. We'll pioneer together, man.
We're nearly through. Yes, boys.
Thank you, Jake. A little nudge from Jake came in clutch. So we're just about to get off at the next portage. The weir is just over to the right, you can probably just see it there and hear it. It's definitely a good drop of about 6 to 8 foot, so it's sensible getting off. Craigie's just exiting now. And I'll be next. And then Jake.
Okay, it's going to be a big effort, but it's only about 30 metres or so. It's not far. Dragging one
Well, yeah. Grab the backpacks and then do the rest of the portage. It's about 25-30 metres, so a little bit of a distance, but that's why it's good to have bags to chuck everything out. So we just portaged around that weir now. The lads are just getting out, or getting back in rather, and we're going to carry on down this way. You can see the current's already taken me, which is a nice welcome helping hand. There's quite a flow off of that weir. But it's been fantastic. Honestly, a really nice day to meet and like first introductions for Jake's journey mate. He's a fantastic guy. Definitely go check out his stuff. And yeah, I just can't wait to share the rest of this adventure with you. Obviously it's going to be quite a long one. We're going all the way from Sudbury to sea, so we're doing quite an extensive one. We're going to end up in an estuary, which is going to be quite fun. It's wide, it's vast, so we're going to stick to the edges, and it's going to be a right laugh. Can't wait to see where we camp tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are right in the rhubarb here. Properly a tight little bit. We're wondering if that's a portage to the right, but we're going to keep going. It's yeah, it's very narrow. There's a good swift flow. Seems quite shallow as well. But definitely a bit of a swift current here, which is good. Seems to be an old bridge here that I'm rowing over, which is quite cool. So the old one must have collapsed. It's going to be tight, lad. It's quite shallow here as well. It's a nice gravel bottom. Going through this tiny little nook and cranny. wonder if the camera's not going to make it. I'm going to have to duck. Oh. There we are. Through the little bridge. We could just see Jake tangling his way through.
I got lost.
Wild spot here. Fully enclosed, loads of reeds. It's a totally different environment to what I'm used to. And it really feels like you're out in the sticks here, completely alone. I think that is a no-go. Some power to keep this boat straight, I tell you. This headwind and these weeds make it very tough to paddle. A lot of pondweed on top. As you can see on the paddle, it just tangles up your stroke. But nevertheless, it is beautiful and a welcome breeze, because you do get quite hot doing all this work. Especially just got to a portage now, so we've just been assessing the weir. It looks a little bit risky to go down in a boat. So there's quite a drop in that middle chute, but there's a few options. There's a little wall there that you can pass your boat over. I'm gonna walk it round. It's definitely been a few portages today, but that's all part of the parcel of being in a canoe. It's amazing, and it's only a short distance. It's literally just to there. Oh, I'm a portage beast. Hard work, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Craig's in. Jake's there. Out of the way. That was the centre flue, you can see. Probably would have been alright going down, but it probably would have scraped. Probably more suited to a kayak. Jake's just about to get in, so I'm going to head over to him and stabilise the boat. Put up to this bank line here, lovely willow there, and we're probably going to portage just up there and camp, because it's getting on now. The sun's getting low in the sky. Honestly, couldn't have wished for better. We've made some good progress along the river. It's been slow at some points because of the pond weeds and how narrow it gets. Obviously no one's paddled here for a long time, so we're really pioneering. So yeah, just about to get out, have a little look and scout out.
I bet that bloke with weird face.
What a film though, Goonies.
Yeah.
Here are guys, that's the reason we didn't go to the last camp spot where we tuned in last. There's a few cows, that's all part of the same field. So it's just not worth getting up there and disturbing any livestock or annoying any farmers. So we're going to head down to a bridge where there's a section of woodland either side and have a little look at that. Hello sir, how's it been going for you, Jake?
All groovy, man, all groovy. We're really enjoying it. You all sweet?
Yeah, excellent man, really loving it.
All good, innit? It's been a lovely day, man.
It's been beautiful. So we still haven't found a camp spot yet, but we have found some beautiful, beautiful scenery. So that's awesome. Brickwork under the bottom vaultings of this bridge. What an awesome paddle today, that was just wicked. So many new sights, new scenes. It was just a totally different river than what I'm used to as well, so it was really nice to go down some little narrow bits, and yeah, banks were super tall, so it just was extremely hard to figure a place to pull out. So very thankful that we got this spot. I've got the canoe on the side, I've got a paddle anchored in so it can't fall this way, and I'm gonna lay up against it, probably drape a tarp over the top and stretch it and pin it down, because I think there's a bit of rain coming in early in the hours of the morning. So yeah, just want to be protected from that, so we're nice and dry, and yeah, really looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing camp. guys. It's pegged down hard on this side the way the wind is blowing, and it's open on this end, so I'll be laying under there having a nice kip with this as a backrest. I've got the oar there so it can't fall this way, and yeah, really excited actually. Looks really cozy. Using the gas stove this time, just really quick and easy. I'm just going to steak and onions, chuck it inside a wrap. Perfect little spot inside this barbecue, little windbreak to cook up my steak and onions. I'm going to chuck that in a wrap. Thank you, Craig, for the oil. Let's fire this bad boy up. This is perfect now, guys. I'm going to dump that into a wrap, chuck some cheese on it, and... Good morning. Good morning. Had a fantastic sleep, which is what you want once you've done a canoe trip. It's really comfortable under the kind of makeshift little lean-to shelter there with the canoe, so can recommend that one, guys, especially if there's a driving wind or a bit of rain. Kept us nice and dry. It's about 20 past 6 in the morning now, so we're up good and early. We're gonna make a little bit of food and then get on the river good and early because we've got a long day's paddle ahead. So very excited for all the views and unknown to come.
Having had a lovely sleep, it was time to move on from this wonderful spot. And although we hadn't had a bushcraft camp here, it was a lovely recreation ground, and thankfully the locals hadn't disturbed us, and we hadn't disturbed them. But my tummy was rumbling, and although the lads weren't having any breakfast, I was desperate to get some of the bacon I had to use into the frying pan on the gas stove.
Quick fry up. Do you want a bit? Do you want a bit?
Nah, I'm good, brother.
You sure?
I just wasn't expecting to stir around with big bacon on.
Nah, food.
That's bushcrafty, bro.
First 2 nights, man.
Yeah.
Here we are there.
Got big respect for that because I've had a slack handful of peanuts and a few M&Ms this morning.
Bless you. If you want a bit of bacon, man, let me know.
Nah.
Well then, good morning, guys. Back on the water already. It's gonna be a lovely day, but a very long one. Without breakfast, I normally flag in the morning, so the lads were getting their boats and I quickly flashed up that bit of bacon. That's a good thing about gas stoves though on trips like this. You can really do something quick, simple, easy and filling and high protein. Use all the meat on the first 2 days and you're good as gold. I've got the waterproof jacket on because it looks like there's a bit of a dark cloud in front. And there was a tiny bit of rain this morning already, so let's see how it goes. Here on the River Stour, we've got probably about 20 miles left to do now. So let's get to the ocean. Most of the day already. It's about 200-300 metres. We've got to traverse this weir. So we're out at the portage point now. It looks like it's a pretty gnarly way to get in. It looks like we join this tiny fast flowing barrel. You have to join after the portage and then over a tiny little step down here into the main river. So we just came out of that tiny little chute over there, and that's the weir that we avoided. It's a big old beast, but the little offshoot is only tiny, so Jake should be coming down any minute. See some jumping fish. Oi. turn a bit steeper. Bloody peaceful, mate.
Oh yeah.
We're going through some real wild terrain here at the moment, guys. Full of these rushes. It really is. Wild as anything here. It's lovely. Super narrow. So many fish as well. The water's crystal clear. It's such a healthy river, which is a nice change. You hear so much bad press about, you know, contaminants, sewerage going into our waterways. So to see so many small fry, literally there's a handful of about 30 there, it's awesome. But twists and turns here, so I'm going to carry on getting through and I'll catch up with you guys, maybe at the next portage, maybe at the next excellent view, which there are just plenty of. I could be filming forever. It would be one hell of a long episode. Yeah, we've got a tree crossing the path, so it's either silky or hold it for each other. So we're going to try the latter first, and then if needs, we'll just give it a little prune to allow us through. So I'm going to give it a hold for Craigie boy. Crayfish claw. Heron's obviously been having a meal. Craigie boy's all set up with his bush box, making himself a coffee and a brew.
Love it, mate.
Jake's got the jet boil on the go.
I'm currently cacking my pants though, because I'm just trying to think where the top to my AeroPress is.
Oh no, hopefully we find it.
Jake Boyle.
The Jake boil.
Jake Boyle.
So that's going on. I've got some minestrone cup of soup, so I'm going to be cracking into that. Good times.
Oh yeah. This is. We haven't had a coffee yet, have we? First coffee
of the day, mate.
Yeah.
Did you start that or what?
Like a trash, yeah. Nah, that's just an American thing.
If you want to get out of a pinch and you're on the river, you don't have a spoon, and you manage to find yourself a mussel shell, you just grab a stick, give it a little split, and you're away to go. Bye to a lovely spot. That was fantastic. I left my little mussel spoon up there.
Really nice spot, man. If only we found this yesterday.
I know.
It was a
Yeah,
little bit too far though, wasn't it?
it was. Yeah. Jake's getting all packed away, squared off, and we're going to head off. Well, that was a lovely, lovely little break. A bit of cup of soup. Going through this amazing reed bed at the moment. The colours are just phenomenal. Lovely bit of a current too, which is very welcome. So yeah, can't wait to see. We've got some miles ahead of us by the look of it. So we're going to really power on today.
Having a small refreshment break makes all the difference when you're out on the river. The path got thicker ahead, and we were really glad that we had stopped and made the most of the shallower banks. Especially with what was coming up.
So, just hit another portage point. There's a weir up ahead. We're going to drag the boats out. I'll see you when we're back on the water. You can see how high the river gets. You can see in the distance there all that hung up stuff on the right. That shows you just how high the floodwaters get. So no wonder the banks are quite high at the moment. We just pulled up at the second little stop now. We're going to have some food for a cheeky pot noodle. Just the old beef and tomato, boiling up the water. It's going to be a nice little lunch stop. It's very windy and bendy. There's a nice little current to it. Oh, well, it looks like an awesome tunnel. That's pretty cool. What a cool way to not have to portage.
You can hear the boat big time.
You can, bro.
Yeah, man. Shit, my boat though.
So Jake's journey mate is just in front of me there, you can see him.
Thank you. That was definitely an awesome little tunnel to go through. Well, a rather large little tunnel. Got very dark in there, welcome shade. But it is very, very hot today. It was a little bit of a shorter route that we took, but it was a little bit trickier getting in, but it was definitely worth it. Jake's just about to get in now. Craig was in after me. It's been good. Sense of freedom. Oh Lord, a fresh drink. Filmed. Getting the boats back in the water now. Probably got about 3 hours of paddling. We're just going to see if we can make it to the next kind of major town where the river is. There's a little woodland after that, so we'll see what we can do. And yeah, just keep pushing on. It's absolutely gorgeous. Every corner opens a different scene. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing out here. Really is a completely different landscape on the water. You see all the willow trees and their red roots as they're trying to suck up water from the river. So many viable spots as well, but the banks are extremely high. So you can definitely tell that the river's low. Hence why we had to walk some of the way, carrying the boat, or pushing the boat rather. There's that wind really pushing me to the left there. That's what you're up against in such a big canoe, especially solo. When you get some headwind, it is a battle. So I've been thinking about using the kayak paddle as a spare paddle, so having that in the boat, and then when I get into tough headwinds, I can swap that out and then push through. So maybe that's an option I'll explore in the future. We'll do a few little tests together and see what kind of speed and how straight the boat goes. Yeah, hopefully that's the end of the shallow sections for now. There's quite a lot of beached, gravelly sections, but it's just easier to get out and walk. You make a lot more progress even at walking speed. We're really pioneering a new path through here. It's very, very tight. I would not want to be a kayaker. Maybe an extreme tangle. Very narrow little sections, lots of damsel flies. You can see them all probably. It's like a little nature trek through here.
Go for it, I didn't think you were
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, man.
No worries.
I didn't know you were setting off.
Oh, Jake's coming.
Sorry, bro.
This is kind of what it's like, guys. You can see it's a very narrow little ravine almost. So we're at another portage point. There's been plenty on this journey. This one actually goes all the way down this way through the forest and around, so I'm not going to film this. I'll see you soon. You can see, guys, it's a little bit narrow here, really tight. It's yeah, getting very shallow, so hopefully we don't have to get out of the boat and walk. It would be a nuisance if we did, but there is a bridge up ahead. Hopefully that leads to a little bit deeper water, but at the moment you can just see the bottom over there, the pebbles shining through. I have a feeling I'm going to get beached in a second.
Hey, East Anglia coming in on the mic.
Hey,
Crazy boy.
it's been a pleasure paddling with Jake. Honestly, really good lad. Definitely go check out his channel, Jake's Journey Mate. Craig, East Anglian Bushcrafter, about to come into the shot there. There he is, top lad. Bit of fast flowing water there with a really good beach gravel spot here. The light is dropping now, so on the hunt for a spot. That's unfortunately not accessible, but let's see what's further down the river. Pretty magical out here. This river is very, very cool. It's a very alive, it's full of nature. Fish, plants, kingfishers. I've seen a few of those, and it's just crystal clear water. Definitely inviting for a swim later. There's nice little areas here where the riverbed narrows up and you get a little sweeping current, which is just fantastic. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous trip with the lads. I'm going to spin you around to see what I'm seeing. If that isn't something special. So we found a spot, a nice woodland here, mainly poplar by the look of it, a few bits of sycamore. So we're going to pull off the river now, get our gear out of the boats and then drag the boats off. It's a bit of a steep bank, but it's definitely well worth it because the light is dropping down now. As you can see, it's getting quite low. We want to have a nice night, cook up some good grub today and just refuel after the long paddle. I'm going to camp just next to the canoe, no tarp because it's not meant to rain tonight, and then Craig and Jake will be in their hammocks overlooking the river. It's going to be beautiful.
It's the final night on the River Stour, and what a journey it's been, with Jake's journey mate and East Anglian Bushcraft offering not only kinship, but truly great people to be around. Surrounded by nature, we can't help but recall the memories we've made during this adventure, from the gentle rhythm of paddling down the river, to the laughter and stories shared in the evening. Every moment has been unforgettable. And as the evening sets in and our camp is set up for one last time, the lads' hammocks hang between the trees, swaying softly in the breeze, offering a perfect place to rest. Nearby, I'm in the lean-to canoe shelter that stands a testament to simple bushcraft skills that have kept me sheltered throughout the trip. Tonight's dinner is a comforting one, peck and rice, cooked on a small gas stove. It's a simple meal, but after a long day on the water, it's just what I need. And as the dusk gathers, the conversations flow easily, and we savour the beauty of our surroundings.
Morning, people. Craigie's up, Jake's up. The river has got a fantastic flow on it as well. So yeah, hopefully make some good progress this morning. I'm just packing up my stuff. We're gonna have some breakfast. Craig is getting the bush box going, which is gonna be nice. Second time we've had a fire going this trip. Nice little welcome for the morning. They'll get the coffees on. And yeah, it's gonna be glorious. We stayed in this lovely willow, poplar, sycamore kind of woodland. There's a few lakes behind us, so it was really active with nature. There's loads of deers walking around, and I know I heard a few footsteps, but they were obviously animals. But it kind of makes you on high alert throughout the night. I know Jake did too. So yeah, really lovely spot, slept well. In fact, the swans decided to sleep just down the river, so it can't be that bad of a spot. You can probably just see them. Well, you probably can't see them, but yeah, they're there. There they are, just having a little tuck up.
Jake's starting his morning by brewing coffee with his trusty AeroPress. And even the smell of freshly brewed coffee gives us non-coffee drinkers a much needed boost after the adventures of the past few days.
Pressure equals persistent cough.
As we sit here by the river and the rustle of the poplars, there's a sense of contentment. The trip has been more than just a camping adventure. It's been about connecting with nature, with each other, and finding the joy in the simplest of things. The memories we've made here will stay with us long after we've left the river behind. But the gentle mornings, the shared meals, the quiet moments are all a reminder of how special this time has been. Meanwhile, Craig's got breakfast covered. Prepping the bush box, quickly moved on to hot dogs sizzling in the pan. The familiar sound of cooking food and the laughter shared as we sit together is the perfect way to start the day. It's a simple meal, but after the nights spent under the stars and days on the water, it really feels like a feast. So as we pack up camp for the last time, there's definitely a feeling of gratitude for the beauty of the River Stour, for the friendships we strengthened, and the peaceful mornings just like this one, where everything feels perfect.
The lads are just about to get Craig's boat in, loading up the barrels. I opted for bags this trip rather than barrels just to make it easier on portaging solo, but to be honest, the barrels haven't looked too hard, so definitely both a viable option. More of a relaxed morning today, giving ourselves a little bit of time for some good fuel. Yesterday was a long paddle, so yeah, very excited to see what the river has in store for us today. It was excellent yesterday. Had some kind of swamp jungle vibes at points, going through these really narrow reed beds. And yeah, it's not letting up at the moment. We're going through archways of willow at the moment, and it's just gorgeous. This river really has put on a good show for us. I'm so glad to have done this trip, and I couldn't have asked to do it with better people, to be honest. So yeah, big thanks to Craig and Jake for the company, and yeah, big shout out to Who Canoes for providing some solid vessels. Obviously they didn't provide them, we bought them. I've bought mine independently, second hand, so has Jake. East Anglian Bushcraft, or Craig is in the Rogue River, which we've nicknamed Rog because some of the letters have fell off on one side. But yeah, it's absolutely glorious. You can see the kind of reeds that come through in some of these thick bits. So there's a nice little bit of a current today, so it's good and steady, and we're just going to go with the flow.
Full speed ahead, power action station.
We've got a weir coming up. There's a portage in about 50 metres, I believe. So we're going to have a little look at that. Definitely a big old flume ahead. You don't want to be going down that. I don't think it's canoeable. I'll have a little look. If it's shallow and just a fast flow, it might be quite good actually. We'll stop, have a little walk, because it's not worth going down there full speed ahead. So as it says, after this little bit here, we've got to keep to the centre of the channel because there's some woody debris that they've installed to increase the biodiversity. So they've marked it on the maps. So that's where we've just got to watch out for any debris. The flues actually look fairly good from here, but I can't tell if there's a big step down, so we'll have to have a little look. It might just be a ramp. To the flumes, which look fairly traversable, there seems to be a flume in the middle there, which is good, no rocks. And then a bit of a step down there, which is a little bit rocky, but there's a centre bit again with a channel. So I think if we take it steady, obviously it's going to be quite fast moving, but buckle everything in, we should be good. We're going down now. Craig's just gone through. Little blast. Getting some good speed. Head this way, bring it through, follow this flue down. Beautiful. That is what it's about. The dreaded foresters are busy at work. I can't say too much because I used to be a forester, but it's why I got out of it. The industry of cutting down trees doesn't appeal to me anymore.
There is. Oh my god.
Yes, kingfisher. Dude, you saw the red belly and everything. Big old bonfire. Fully deforesting the riverbank. Clear felling it. Bulldozers. It is like full Fern Gully. Bit of a shock, guys. Absolutely devastating this part of the river. So there's another portage here, guys. We've done quite a bit of paddling since the last one, and we're going to jump out now, get on over and keep heading on our way. We need to make some good distance today, so just keeping paddles in the water. Quite a lot of portages this trip, eh Craig?
Fair few, mate. Not like compared to the Y where we did 0.
Yeah.
It's been flipping loads, mate. What are we on, number like 12 or something?
Yeah, definitely. We're on 2 today, and I think there's another 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Jake's about to drop in now.
We're on a large amount of portages.
Oh yes.
How many did you say has been today? Is this the second today?
Second so far, yeah.
As we started to near our destination, it reminded me that this trip has been about more than just canoeing. It's been about reconnecting with the wild, learning from each other, and finding peace in the simplicity of it all. As we prepare to say goodbye to the river and the trails, we carry these moments with us, knowing they'll last a lifetime. The River Stour will always hold a special place in our hearts, and it's a reminder of the adventure, the camaraderie, and the endless beauty of the natural world, just outside most of our doorsteps.
How are you?
How long do we need to stay for? I'll do an absolute shot.
Perfect. So we're portaging now. We've been going for a good few hundred meters. Really heavy work. Hard work. So that's the get-in point. It's been a good old hike. But yeah, looking forward to getting back in. The lads on their way to portage. There's a hell of a long way we've got to go. All the way. over there somewhere. So yeah, heavy old boats to portage without wheels. We've done it. And we're going to head on the water down here. Lovely beaching spot to come in on. Been really nice to catch up with Jake, who's behind me there. You can just see him. I've heard a lot about him, seen a lot of him on Instagram and Craig's videos, so it's good to spend some quality time in the flesh with him. And yeah, proper friendship. It's really good. So this is where the river runs off. It splits into two. So we are taking the left path, which takes us all the way to Canoe, I believe, and then from there. But as we begin, so shall we finish. Duckweed and actually a really beautiful stretch of river. We're probably on the last mile and a half, so we should be there within the hour. It really has been one of the best river trips. Good multi-dayer, a good amount of distance covered. I think we've done about 30 miles, which is awesome going, considering we're finishing around the time when we set off on the first day. So we'll call it 48 hours, it's probably a little bit more. And thank you so much for watching. It's actually, funnily enough, the first time I've seen any greater reed mace on the riverbanks. It's often what people call bulrush, but it's not. It's a cattail. A really good wild food. If I had have seen it earlier in the trip, I would have definitely grabbed some, but I'm ready to get back now, so let's keep cutting through this pondweed, and I'll see you guys soon. One or two more turns of the river and we'll be at our destination for getting out, which is a little picnic site in Canoe. So hopefully we'll find that in a minute and be able to stretch the old arms and the legs. Well, Jake, do you want to tell my audience where to find you?
Check me out at Jake's Journey, mate, on Instagram and YouTube.
There we are, lads and ladies, you heard it from the man himself.
You heard it there. I'm just cruising for a bruise at this point, check this out.
It's lovely, mate.
Loving it.
The breeze at your back.
Oh, alright. Rather pleasant.
Yeah, it is indeed. Going with the flow for this last little bit. It gets narrow again though.
Yeah. I'll be back on the steering this,
Yeah, that's it. What an amazing time out on the river. I can't recommend it enough, guys. Get yourself a boat if you have to hire one or save up for one. It is so worth it. There's a lot of companies like Decathlon making things very affordable, so definitely go check them out. Bittersweet moment, guys. The end point. Here we are, back at the vehicles now. That was a long trip, but absolutely amazing, really worth it. Big thank you to Craig and Jake for the fun times. See you soon, Stour. Canoes are all back on top of the vehicles. Craig's is about to go into the back. It's been an excellent trip, my dude.
Mate, you are a top tier legend, Liam.
So are you, brother. It's been
Love spending time with you,
fantastic.
bro. Always a pleasure, bro. Really is, always a pleasure. This lad is a Donny. Please subscribe to him. He's got a heart goal. He's a real one.
And likewise for EAB. I'm sure you all know him. If you don't, where have you been? He's a legend. Thank you so much for the trip, man.
Cheers, brother.
Awesome, man.
Good to see you, man.
Really good. Yeah, really good to meet you, man. Finally.
Done it.
It has. What an introduction to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mad on the river.
Big respect to you, brother. It's been sick.
And you also. Go check him out. I told you earlier where to find him. Stay safe. See you soon. Until next time.